Welcome back to episode 5 of Court Chronicles. I want to open this up by saying shout out Kai Sotto. We stand with
Shout
you.
out Kai Sotto.
He's better than Wemby. I mean, we're
100%.
only like a couple years away from seeing him break out into the league and average like 45 a game.
Hey, I'm just saying, Wemby is not a two-time NBL fan MVP. Just putting it out there.
Shout out Kai
Wemby didn't
Sotto.
get the fan votes. Yeah, shout out Kai Sotto. Shout out the Philippines. We love y'all. All right. So we were gone for a week. We had holidays. Events.
Completely on me, to be completely honest.
It's all right.
It was on me.
Holidays came around. Everybody was busy, but we're back. Episode 5. Start off with league standings, a little overview of what's going on, and then we'll move into some news we got, whatever we got. We got a little bit of news, and then close it out playing a few games, having a good time.
Yep.
Call it episode. All right, let's jump into
starting the standings. I've got them pulled up right now.
Or you want to do this? Yeah, we'll jump into the standings. No, we jump into the standings. League overview standings.
Let me pull up the right here. So, in the league, we had the Cavs on pace to win 70 games somehow this year.
Damn.
No idea.
There's another violation on YouTube. I cussed. We're just going to keep going negative. You're good.
Last time we did this was kind of towards the beginning of the season. Cavs were still undefeated. Celtics, of course, top 2 seed in the East, what everybody expected. The Knicks have picked it back up. Defensively, still not where you would like to be at all. They still really don't have a lot of protection around the rim, but their offense has clicked a lot more, and their defense has improved. What I really want to talk about is the Magic consistently finding ways to win games despite their two best players being injured, bro.
What I want to talk about is the Magic need to fire their personal trainers, their injury staff, their medics, whatever they got, because everybody keeps getting injured. And, it's respect to the Magic because they keep finding a way to win. But last night or 2 nights ago, Suggs went down with a back injury. I think it was a non-contact back injury. So it's just like, they keep going down and they keep finding ways to win. And I mean, if they keep finding ways to win without their 2 stars, there's no telling what happens when they come back.
I really do think they could have like a Cinderella run come playoff time if everybody comes back, and they are like a 6 or a 7 seed. They could end up doing what Miami did and go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Do I think they're better than the Celtics or the Cavs? No, I think they'd lose those matchups. But I think if everybody's healthy, there's no reason these guys can't make it to the conference finals.
Yeah. No, they're a good team. They just...
With the trade deadline coming around, and they're targeting a lot of guys like Anthony Simons and all these other on-ball creators. They could Bradley have enough offense to make it happen. Okay. Bradley Beal for swap one-on-one.
They're a good team. They just got hit with the injury bug right now with just a lot of stuff happening. But like I said, whenever Paulo and Franz and everybody gets back to being healthy, they're definitely gonna be a real contender out east. So.
Any thoughts on the Bucks and their recent? I don't want to say comeback. They're 17-15, but they're better than they were to start the year. That's for sure.
I mean, they've picked it up. They won the NBA Cup. Darvin Ham, 2-time NBA Cup champion. And Torian Prince, the only 2.
Undefeated. Did not lose a game in the NBA Cup.
There's not much to say. I mean, I don't want to say it's expected when you have Giannis and you have Dame. I mean, you kind of expected to be somewhat decent, and then they didn't start off too hot, but they're starting to pick it back up. So I think they are who they are. They're the Bucks. They're gonna compete. You're gonna get the Giannis trade rumors. You're gonna get should the Bucks blow it up, and then in the end, the Bucks are gonna end up making the playoffs. Probably go to the second round.
My thing is, I don't know how confident you are in this team without Chris Middleton, because when you watch them without Chris Middleton, the team doesn't make a lot of sense. And then Chris comes back, and it's like, oh, this is exactly what they were trying to do with this team. They have a great lead guard. They have one of the best pass targets, lob targets in the league in Giannis. And then you have this scorer on the wing who can score on all three levels. You know what I mean? That combination is great. But when you miss one of those pieces, it feels like the whole thing falls apart. And with Chris Middleton being 500 years old at this point, it's kind of hard to rely on that.
Yeah. I don't know what he's really done. I know he came back from injury a couple weeks ago. I'll be honest, I'm not an Eastern Conference watcher. I'm not watching a lot of the teams out east. They're not. There's no knock to them, but a lot of them aren't really super competitive. They're not super fun teams to watch. So I'm not really watching them. But I'm not too sure what Chris Middleton's doing. I mean, we know who Chris Middleton is. We know what Chris Middleton can be. But at the end of the day, I mean, he's coming back from injury. He's probably having a down year. I haven't really looked into it, but he's probably having a down year. So if he could step it up, figure things out, the Bucks can figure their pieces out. Like I said, they have Giannis. They're gonna make the playoffs. They're gonna do a run in the playoffs. Probably get to the second round and either drop out or keep going. Who knows? That's just my thoughts on the Bucks. There's not really a lot that goes into the Bucks. I mean, they're just kind of that team that that's gonna be there.
I think the biggest difference is whether or not Giannis is healthy for the playoffs, because he hasn't been since that finals run. I don't think he's played a first-round series since then.
Jesus. Oh, Miami Heat.
We got Miami, who I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what a trade package for Jimmy looks like.
It looks like Bradley Beal.
Yeah, sure it does. I mean, Bam still kind of having a down year, figuring it out a little bit, but he's not what you want him to be whatsoever.
Yeah.
Tyler is the best player on that team, and he's carried this team to a 6 seed. He's an all-star. I don't care. He's an all-star.
Over Trae Young?
Oh, sorry, I forget we don't know ball. Okay. I love Trae. I love Trae so much. I want him to get the ball in the basket more than he is right now. I don't like when all-stars are sub 40 from the field, because at that point, make RJ Barrett an all-star. You know what I mean? What is he doing better than RJ other than passing the ball?
Yeah, I don't know. Out there looking like John Stockton, I guess, according to our biggest hater.
You know what? John Stockton's a fraud too. I don't want to hear it.
Oh man, he's about to go crazy. I've
got beef with John Stockton. That is a fraudulent player. I'm sorry. If you gave me the ability to dribble a ball like that, and I was like, I'm gonna throw bounce passes to Karl Malone all day, yeah, I would average 30 assists too. You have Karl Malone.
Oh, Karl Malone.
I don't care. John Stockton's a fraud.
All right, what do we got next? We're just doing top 8, or we're going to talk about every team?
Let's just do top 8. With the East, it's even hard to do that. The Pacers are still iffy.
I told you, half the East, you could make the playoffs in the East being a negative team. Like,
the Pistons are about to make the playoffs. Like, they have a real shot at taking down the Hawks or the Pacers, because to me, Cade Cunningham with spacing is a similar tier player that Trae and Tyrese Halliburton are when they're healthy. I think Cade's a good NBA player. I think he's a great guard. Obviously you see what happens when you have guards like this as your best players. Even right here with Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine being your best player gets you a 10 seed. These aren't great teams.
Well, I mean,
these are guys
shout out
who
Vooch.
Okay, so
Vooch is having a good season.
So you have Zach LaVine.
It's not enough right now.
You have Zach LaVine and Vucevic having the best seasons they've had in the past 4 years, right? And you're the 10 seed.
Yeah.
There's a limit. There's a limit to how good you can be with guards of this caliber as your best players. And this year, Tyrese Maxey has been the best player for the Sixers because he's not as hurt as the other two. Paul George is completely washed, and they're stuck with him for 4 years. And Joel Embiid plays 6 games a season.
Yeah.
Tyrese Maxey's been their best player, and they are the 11 seed.
Every other game on fantasy.
Exactly.
It makes me mad sometimes, but I mean, like I've said it once, I'll say it again. Sixers got to blow it up. I've always lived by that until they blow it up. Sixers have to blow it up. It's not working. The process, it can't be trusted no more. All right.
What do you try and build around from this? Do you try and build around
You build
Maxey
around
and
Maxey
Jared
and McCain.
McCain?
Yeah.
Do you
You
think that?
get
Do you think long term that backcourt could work? Two defensive guards who or two small guards who can't play defense. We see it working with the Cavs right
mhm.
now, but I still think the Celtics are a better team than them because they're a much more well rounded team. The Cavs are, I don't know, they are an anomaly because you have two ball dominant. I mean, Darius Garland's been really good off ball this year, but you have two ball dominant small guards as your front court who can't defend, and
Yeah.
two big men who don't stretch the floor at all, and are playing like a '90s basketball team out there. They remind me of like the championship Pistons from the '90s with Joe
Mhm.
Dumars and with Isaiah Thomas, except both those guys are better defenders.
Yeah.
And then
Honestly, I think when it
you had Rodman and what's his name out there, dude who used to just punch Michael Jordan.
I don't know, man, it's a little before my time. But I really think with the Sixers, like you said, building around Maxey and McCain as your backcourt, two non-defensive guards, it really is determined by who you put around them. I mean, because you can't really. I guess you could draw it up in your head, but you won't know until you build around them and see what happens. But I really
Yeah.
think with the Sixers, you gotta. I mean, at this point, the value of Joel isn't super high. I mean, it's still gonna be. Somebody's gonna take a chance on getting Joel. I mean,
Oh yeah,
there's
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be at least 10 GMs that are gonna call for him.
You're gonna
But
tell me the Magic aren't interested in grabbing Joel Embiid?
yeah, like
Yeah, there's
somebody's gonna
teams out
call.
there. Yeah,
It's just his value has plummeted. It's not bad. It's just it's plummeted to a point where you're not gonna get 4 firsts or 3 firsts or something like that. You're gonna get a first, maybe a decent star to role player, and maybe some other things to just kind of fill out the trade. But you're
if
not getting something crazy.
if he's still hurt next season, he's encroaching on that like Zion territory for me of like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where to rank him because sure, when he's healthy and he plays 60 games, he's easily a top 10, top 5 player in the NBA, right?
Yeah.
We
No,
had the
yeah.
one
When
year
he plays, he's good.
we had the 1 year of Zion playing 60 games. We were like, okay, he's here. He's here. This is going to
He's
be a
emerged.
guy who's in MVP conversations for the next 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is great. And then he just never played that many games again. And he's
Yeah.
not, we don't know what a trade package for him would look like because what are you willing to give up for a guy who's going to play 15 games a season? You know what I mean?
Exactly, and that's my point. It's just like he's just not worth what he would have been, a few years ago, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you could still get something out of him, but you're not going to get what you would have gotten 3 years ago out of him,
No,
But I
not
think
at
it's
all.
at the point where, honestly, this season, at the end of this season, if nothing happens out of this, if they don't make the playoffs or something, you really got to blow it up. You got to shop Joel. You have to attempt to shop Paul George.
I mean,
Attempt,
if I were them
but
this season, I would have called this season a wash. They have a top 10 protected pick this year that they own.
mm-hmm.
If they had slipped into that top 10 and kept their guy, there's guys in this draft that could really help them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I would have called the season a wash. But
Yeah,
you pay these guys too much money. You just paid Paul George. So I guess you want to go out there and see what he could do, but he can't do much.
yeah. I mean, like you said, call it a wash. Give the keys to Gershon Yabusele and let bro average 30.
Yeah.
Just put him out there and let him average 30. Him and Kelly Oubre, just put him out there and let him average 30. Prime Drummond, bring back Prime Drummond. Put Drummond out there, let him grab 15 boards and put up 15 points a game or something,
They got to go out there and grab Hassan Whiteside from wherever he's playing.
I don't even think bro's playing.
Average 18 and 11. He had one really good year with the Heat, and I was like, "Oh my god, is this like an all-star next year? Is this the guy for the Heat?"
No. All right. Where are we at? Are we done with the East?
Yeah, let's move over to the West. I mean, the Pistons are who they are. The Pacers are weird, but not Tyrese inconsistent. Pascal's their best player.
Yeah. Shout out Andrew Nemhard.
Shout out. We got the Thunder being the 1 seed by a wide margin. They are 6.5 games ahead of the Grizzlies right now, and the Grizzlies are exactly where I thought they would be going into this year. I thought coming back, they'd be healthier. Obviously, we saw last year that both Triple J and Desmond Bain got a lot of reps being the lead guy on this team. And that ended up being a losing season last year. But those reps really show this year. You see Jaren Jackson Jr. be super comfortable whenever he's asked to do more on the offensive end. Beyond that, on defense, he's the same player he's always been. He's a good shot blocker who is always in foul trouble. Yeah, I mean, they are who they are. They're a really good, really young team who are going to continue to be good as long as this core stays together. Beyond that,
one thing about the Grizzlies is they're very good right now, and they have the pieces at the deadline to go and buy and get some better players to really make that finals run or attempt to make a finals run. So I'd watch the Grizzlies. I really would. I'd watch the Grizzlies. They are a real threat to try to make a finals run. So
if I'm the Nets, I'm calling the Grizzlies and seeing what they're willing to offer for Cam Johnson immediately.
Well, they were gonna get Dorian Finney-Smith, which is what I read.
Yeah.
But I also read that the Grizzlies were asking for too much in return. Like they were trying to, I guess, fleece in a sense.
As what I saw was last year, the Grizzlies were inquiring about Dorian Finney-Smith, and they wanted, or the Nets wanted like 2 first-round picks. Like they had them set super high. And the Grizzlies were like, no, we're not going to take that. And now Dorian got flipped for 2 second rounds. So
2 second rounds, Shake Milton. Oh, speaking of that trade, pause real quick. Maxwell Lewis got sent to the Nets. Bro's out for the season after 1 game. Yeah. Hey, he knocked down a 3 though. He put down a 3.
He put down a 3. As far as his Nets career goes, he's 100% from the field.
100, the greatest shooter in Nets history.
He's the greatest shooter. Joe Harris, who, bro? Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Joe Harris, who? But no, yeah. Shout out Maxwell Lewis. Get well. It sucks to see somebody go down, especially on a team like the Nets, where he probably would have gotten real minutes.
Oh, he would have gotten plenty of opportunity to show
got to actually play. So, shout out Maxwell Lewis. But we're moving on to the Rockets.
I hope he has more time in his contract. I think he was an expiring contract, honestly. So
he might have been. I'm not real sure on his contract.
But yeah, Rockets are still winning games by being a better defensive team than the opponent can be night in, night out. Ime Udoka is the best player on the Rockets. Their coach is the best player because, they have Sengun, who's woken up a little bit, but he's in no way like a superstar or a star in this league. He's a very good NBA player, but he's not, he hasn't taken this huge leap. They are still winning games by sending out Torrey Eason and Amen Thompson to just kill whoever's on the other side of the ball. And I love seeing it. It's a really fun way to play basketball. I like seeing it.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah. What was I gonna say? I was about to say something about Sengun, but I hate when that happens. It was in my head. I go to talk about it and it's gone. Maybe I'll remember before we get through this. But are we moving on to the Lakers?
Yeah. Any thoughts?
Yeah. Here's my thoughts. Shout out Bron. Happy 40th. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. Okay, we don't have time for the whole song, but no. I think the Lakers are. I mean, it's honestly the Lakers kind of are in the same situation. I wouldn't say same situation, but they kind of resemble, not as a team, but when you talk about them, the Bucks. They're the Lakers. They have LeBron. They have AD. They're gonna make the playoffs. But like you said, it's all about being healthy. Is AD going to be healthy? Is LeBron going to be healthy? Things like that when it comes to the Lakers. They did get better with the
they picked
Dorian Finney-Smith trade.
I would argue they got better by getting rid of D'Lo more than anything.
that's just cold. But you're not wrong. They really
Yeah,
did.
I you know, I
I
mean,
love D'Lo,
they
but he
they
just.
trade away D'Lo, and then Austin Reeves gets a triple double, like
Mhm.
that. Come on now, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Eh, I'm not saying D'Lo was holding this team back by any means, because
Mhm.
when they moved him to the bench, he looked like the perfect sixth man for this team. You know, he'd come out,
Yeah.
he would average like he'd score like 18 in 20, 25 minutes or whatever he was getting off the bench. And now they shipped him off. They got a 3-and-D wing who can easily slot in next to LeBron and AD at
Mhm.
either. Honestly, he can play the 2 through 4 just fine, because he's not super tall, but he has a lot of length on his arms. He can cover. He can play bigger than what he is. He can guard other wings
Yeah.
really well. Guard opposing guards really well. So I think they got a really good just a guy to throw in their rotation whenever they need people. You know, and then between him and Connect and Reeves is a little
Mhm.
streaky of a shooter, but when he's hot, he's really hot. Could
Yeah.
be enough spacing to make something happen with this team. I like it. And they keep their first round pick, which they could either
Yeah.
use this year and trade it at the deadline and buy in even more on this team, or you have a first round pick that you don't have to get rid of. So that's good.
Yeah. I don't think they should get rid of it. That's just me, but
No, me neither.
you really
Unless
shouldn't.
unless you're getting a call from like, the Timberwolves, and they're like, we'll send you Jaden McDaniels. You're like, yeah, I'll give you a first round pick for Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah.
But
All right. Nuggets. Nuggets. uh,
Russell Westbrook
Jokic and
comeback story.
Westbrook. Yeah.
Yeah,
Jokic and Westbrook both put up triple doubles in the same game.
best duo in the NBA. Westbrook with
Jamal Murray to the bench, maybe. No, imagine.
Westbrook with his first ever perfect triple double. No
Mm-hmm.
misses from the field, 7 for 7.
100%.
If
It's crazy.
I'm the Nuggets, I would try and move off Jamal Murray. They're not going to, and I don't know a ton of teams that would be willing to give up anything for Jamal Murray.
Mm-hmm.
But people say like, oh, this year he's been slow. Like, give him a chance next year. He was slow last year. He started off slow. He kind of picked it back up, and then the playoffs came around, and he was either hurt or he wasn't playing to his standard. And we saw that. I think the writing was on the wall then. I think this year, even if he's not completely cooked, you're not going to win a championship with Jamal Murray anymore. I don't
Yeah.
think with Jamal Murray as your second best player, you're going to win a championship. And you have Westbrook, who could be that replacement. He
Mm-hmm.
plays a little. They play very differently. But you have that whole field.
Yeah.
I
I think
say
with the.
you move Jamal and try and get a 2 guard that fits next to these guys very well and can help shoot a lot more, because they are missing a lot of shooting.
I think with Jamal, he just signed that extension, so I mean, he's in like the first year of his extension or whatever it is.
Mm.
So I think you let it play out this season. You see how he performs in the playoffs. If he doesn't perform to his contract, what he's making, I think that's when it comes time to just start shopping him, see what he's valued out around the league, see what you could possibly get in return, things like that.
I think teams are too patient with players sometimes, and I think they do that,
Yeah.
and then suddenly their window's closed. Because look at the Warriors, and I know Steph didn't necessarily want him to leave, but if I'm the Warriors and Clay had been playing the way he had been, I'm going to try and fleece the team and ship him
Yeah.
out for something. I would not. If I'm the Warriors and I have Clay and I get a call from the Clippers last year and they're like, we want to give you Paul George, you guys can have Clay. I will take last year PG over what Clay has been for the past 3 years since that last title run. And even then, Clay wasn't the best version of himself. He was coming off, 2 major injuries.
Yeah. He hadn't played a game in over like a season and a half, right? When he
like
came
a
back?
calendar, like over 2 calendar years or something crazy like that. Like, it was ridiculous. Yeah.
I think the thing with the Warriors is, I know we're not on the Warriors right now. We probably won't talk about them because of the 9 seed, but
Throw it in.
I think what the Warriors is their refusal to, I guess the wording would be, run 2 different timelines at one time. They're not trying. They're trying to.
They tried. right? They did. They
Yeah.
because they drafted Pearl and not Pearl. What's his name? Podziemski and
Mm-hmm.
Kaminga and Poole. Which I want to say right now, I called it early on Poole. I was watching the summer league that year that they had drafted him when he was a rookie, and I was like, "Oh, this
Mm-hmm.
dude could be nice for the Warriors." And then he wasn't his rookie year because he was a rookie drafted in the late first round, and no one expected him to be. I called it early on Poole. I want to get that out there right now. I wish I got that out there a couple years ago because I had
Yeah.
all the stock on Jordan Poole, and I still do. But they tried that. They tried to win the run the two timelines, and they thought, oh, we got a championship in 2021. This worked out, or 2022. This worked out. We can make this happen. No,
Mm-hmm.
Steph is the only timeline. Podziemski is not the guy. They see that now. They rejected a trade for Larry Marketing because the Jazz wanted Podziemski. We see
They would have
Jonathan
taken it now.
Kaminga. Oh yeah, oh yeah. They should have took it last year.
Yeah.
They 100% should have taken it last year. The Warriors are not this big free agency destination. They never have been, despite being a West Coast team.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna. The only way for them to build a championship team is through the draft, which they did. And I think if Steph is still on your team and playing the way he is, you build around him. You do whatever it takes to build around him. But they couldn't get it done. Wiseman
Yeah.
was not a hit, which if they had taken Edwards, could have been. If they had gotten an opportunity to take LaMelo or Edwards, could have been. And then the two timeline thing could work out, but they didn't.
The Wiseman story sucks. Honestly, it really does. It sucks for just James himself. I mean, like it's sad to see somebody who was drafted so high with so much expectation, and now he's. I mean, I know he's hurt this season. I think he would have not, been crazy with the Pacers, but I think he would have been a decent backup. He would have gotten, he probably would have got a small contract extension or whatever, a couple million or whatever. But it just sucks to see a guy like, the fall from grace. I mean, I'm glad he's still in the league, and I'm glad he's not playing right now because he's hurt. But I mean, I'm glad he's still getting opportunity.
He's going to be good enough to keep a job at the very least.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he turns into a journeyman backup center. Something like that. Maybe just, bouncing around teams, which I mean, you're still employed. You still got a job. You're still in the league.
So, you get to travel,
Yeah.
Who cares if a year of that is in Toronto and the next year of it is in Sacramento,
Yeah. But I'm just glad he's still in the league. I'm glad he's still getting the opportunity to play. I'm glad some teams still see value in him. And I hope he bounces back from his ACL, right? Or is it something in the knee, I believe.
I believe
something around
so.
in the knee.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll bounce back and come back and do what he needs to do to keep his job and stay in the league. So. All right. Well, we got the Mavericks.
Yeah. Any thoughts? I know you're a big Mavericks hater.
Sell the team, kick him out of the NBA, put him in the NBL, send him over to Australia, release every player on the team, put him on free agency. I think
2015. Luka's out for a month, but I think they'll be fine. Earlier this year, they showed us that
they'll stay afloat.
Luka being out doesn't really they'll stay afloat. They're gonna make the play. They have Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. They're gonna make the playoffs.
Which Luka is out for. I have it. Luka's out for at least a month after suffering a left calf strain. He's already missed 8 games. Well, this was a week ago, so he's missed more, obviously. But at the time, he had already missed 8 games this season from a variety of injuries, like a right wrist sprain, a right knee contusion, a left heel contusion. Also, he will be ineligible for any awards if he misses 7 more games, which I don't know if he's already missed 7 or not.
I don't think they played 7 since then, but I doubt he. I mean, this could be the first year in Luka's career he's not first team All NBA, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Not first year. He didn't make it his rookie year, obviously, but ever since then he's been first team All NBA every year. This is breaking that streak. I don't like the 65 game rule. I'll be honest.
I don't either. I mean, as much as I hate the Mavericks, somebody like Luka deserves to be in an MVP conversation because when he's out there and he's balling, he's a good player. And I hope nobody clips this because it'll be the end of me talking great about Luka.
I'm clipping that
because I hate the Mavericks, but the 65 game rule is honestly one of the most bogus rules they've ever implemented into the game. I mean, because it like people like Luka, like Joel. Yeah, Joel's not going to win MVP. He has once. Did he deserve it? Maybe. Did he not? Maybe. But somebody like him who consistently chooses on his own personal, whatever the word is, to sit out every other game. Okay, sure, that's on him. But somebody like Luka who's actually injured and can't control it, he still deserves to be in the MVP conversation. It's not. I mean, yeah, he got injured playing the game.
Out there with a bloody knee wrap during the finals.
Yeah, like he deserves to still be in the MVP conversation. Somebody like Joel who's willingly sitting out, he does not deserve to be in it. So I mean, it works for some people, but then some people it's like that's not really fair, So, I don't know. Maybe they'll get rid of it eventually. Maybe not. I don't know. Who knows? They might heighten it. Might be 70 games next time.
You got to play all 82. All 82. We're gonna.
Mikhail's winning MVP. Yeah, Mikhail's winning MVP.
We're getting Mikhail MVP season.
Might as well. I'll take it. But no, yeah, with the Mavericks, they're the Mavericks. They'll stay afloat. They've done it, like you said. They've done it already this season without Luka. They have the players. They have the rotation. Next man up. They know what they got to do. They go out there and play. They get the job done. They win. So.
Well, I don't know. Najee Marshall suspended.
They'll be
that could be the season. That could be the season for them. That's it. That could be over.
It's just a few games, right? It's Najee Marshall 4 games. Just 4 games.
That's 4 games.
PJ Washington got 1. Which, speaking of PJ Washington, they played the other night. I don't know if you saw this. They played the other night at home. PJ Washington was wearing the Christmas Day game jersey. Had the snowflake and everything on the back. It's like somebody didn't do laundry or something, or they lost his jersey. But yeah, I don't know. I was laughing. But no, Najee Marshall's out for 4. PJ got suspended 1, and Yusuf Nurkic got suspended 3. So PJ Washington's obviously back.
Congrats. Congrats, bro.
I'm glad Nurkic is doing something to help the team. He got himself suspended so he can't play. I am so glad. That's a great team player.
I really don't understand why they don't just start Mason Plumlee.
I don't know. They need to start Oso. Just start Oso, but throw Oso out there. Give him 24 minutes. Let him do what he's got to do. Let him develop. He's a rookie. Just let him develop. We're what does that say? 15 and 17. We're the 11th seed already. I mean, I guess you could drop to the 15th, but we're pretty much at rock bottom right now. You can't get any worse than 11. I mean, I guess you could, but
I mean, who owns y'all?
I think the worst we could get is 12. The Trailblazers only have 11 wins. We're pretty far ahead of them. So
who owns your pick? Who owns the Suns' pick? Because I know you guys don't have your own picks for a while, right?
The Nets have some. The Rockets have some. The Wizards have some. I think the Nuggets might have a couple seconds. I don't know. They're everywhere. They're all over the league. The Wizards have them from the Bradley Beal trade.
Congratulations, Brooklyn.
The Nets have it from the KD trade. And then the Rockets made a trade with the Nets to acquire some of our picks. So the Rockets also have 2 of our first. I believe they have 2 of our first. So they're all over the league. The Wizards, the Nets, the Rockets, and then I'm sure there's a couple seconds out there floating around on some teams. So our picks are scattered everywhere. Okay. If we do blow it up, we need to trade with the Rockets. If we blow it up, we gotta trade with the Rockets. We gotta get our picks back.
So according to Fanspo, 2025 year 1, Houston or Brooklyn own your first round pick for this coming up year. 2026 is Washington, Orlando, or Memphis hold the rights to a pick swap. 2027, Houston owns it with no protections. 2028, Brooklyn or Washington own it. 2029, Houston or Brooklyn. 2030, Washington or Memphis. You guys won't have your own first round pick until 2031. But you have
31. We have pick swaps.
You have Denver's second round pick for 2026. So that's something.
I believe we have pick swaps with the Wizards for the Bradley Beal trade. I think we just get the worst pick or whatever it is. The Wizards probably get the better pick. But so we do have first. It just doesn't show because they're not our first, But they'll be pick swaps.
They'll be late to mid firsts.
So honestly, the picks and all that stuff confuses me sometimes. There's so much that goes into it. As far as I know, it was pick swaps with the Wizards. I know we do have some firsts. I don't know why they don't show up. I don't know. Could be wrong.
I'd be a horrible GM. I wouldn't be throwing protections on any picks. I would just throw them out there.
Take the whole pick. It's all yours.
Yeah. Or if I put a protection, it's like a second round protected pick. Second round?
Mm-hmm. Protect that second. If it ain't top 3, it's mine.
That's mine. I want my 65th overall pick.
Yes, sir. I want my 58th over. Hey, I want my Bronny James. All right. I want my Bronny James. But what do we got left? The Clippers and the Spurs.
Clippers and Spurs. Clippers are who they are. They're winning games without Kawhi.
Harden's playing good. Kawhi comes back. If Kawhi comes back, yeah, Zubac's playing good too. If Kawhi comes back and he's at least half of what he would be, the Clippers will continue to stay afloat. They'll be good.
Yeah,
I think there's not really much to say about the Clippers.
No, they are who they are.
The Spurs, take it away, Mr. Spurs fan.
Victor Wembanyama, the man that you are.
Get the glaze out.
Top 5 NBA. There are 4 players in the NBA that are better than Vic right now. Okay, it is Wemby, it is Shea, it is Luka, and it is Giannis. That is it. Those are the 4. I don't want to hear anybody else's name in any Anthony Davis, okay. Anthony Davis can't hit a 3, and Wemby's a better defender than him. Anthony Davis is comparable on offense, I think. Sure, they're both good on offense. Wemby's far and away the best defender in the NBA. He averages 4 blocks a game.
Damn.
He averages 4 blocks a game. And not only that, he has the best rim deterrence in NBA history. No one in the NBA keeps players from even attempting at the rim more than Wemby does. Players are too scared to drive to the basket when he's near. Wemby's a top 5 player in the NBA. Name a player right now. Name a player.
Devin Booker.
Absolutely not. He's not top 10 this year. Booker's like 15th, at best.
Honestly, he's not even playing that good this season. I mean,
exactly. I have him at 15th because I know he can be top 10. Because last year I had him top 10. Because the year before that I had him top 10. But he's not that this year.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, like the 7th best player, in my opinion. LeBron, I have him at number 13. And Steph is right outside my top 10. Which is sad to say. It's weird. I don't like saying that Steph is.
It's like kind of disrespectful, but like it has to be done. There's players that are better
at a certain point.
He had his time.
Right now, if you had one season, would you rather have Anthony Edwards or Stephen Curry on that team? Just 1 year.
Like current day players.
Current day, right now, as they are right now.
I'd rather have Ant at this point.
Exactly.
You don't build around a 34-year-old player.
Well, no. I'm not saying build around this team. I'm saying, yeah. You build, but you have 1 year. You have 1 year to win a championship. Are you choosing Steph or are you choosing Ant for your 1 year right now? I'm choosing Ant.
Oh. I don't know. If it's just for 1 year.
It's 1 year. Oh. This doesn't matter about the future. Are you taking the guy who has had a comparable shooting season to Steph Curry right now, taking 11 and hitting 41% of them and is a great defender? Or are you taking Steph, who is averaging 23 a game and struggling to get a shot up, who's still hitting threes, but beyond that is not the same player he used to be?
That's a tough one, honestly. It's not tough. It's just
I think they're the same tier of player. I think they're the same tier of player. I'd rather have Ant.
I'd probably end up taking Ant, but I feel real bad. I feel bad just because
I don't like saying
who Curry is. Yeah, you don't want to say
Curry has 4 rings. He's the second best player from when me and you were growing up watching basketball. Ant, as of current day, is better than Steph.
I'd take Ant.
Anyways, Spurs are finally above 500 for the first time in years. Since we traded DeMar. Did we trade? Yeah, we traded DeMar. I don't think we let him walk for nothing. Anyway, since we
I don't remember.
Since we traded DeMar and went into this rebuild, first time we've been over 500. Feels good. Feels good to be like, yeah, we are a would-be playoff team. We're a play-in team, but I mean, we're on the verge, man. We
Yeah.
are on the verge of being a contender. If we get a Stephen Castle leap, if we either flip Devin Vassell, or he comes back to life and starts playing more consistently and hitting his shot more, Wemby's right there. Wemby is the best player in the league to build around right now. He's a second-year player playing like a seasoned veteran.
Yeah.
He, on the season, he's about league average at like 36% on 8 attempts from 3. Not bad. But for the past like 15 games now, it's been like a 39, 38% clip that he's hitting. The only reason his average is season average for everybody is because he started off the year slow.
Mm-hmm.
If you take that out, if you take out the first 10 games of the season so far, he looks like an
I'm just
elite.
putting a hoodie on.
You're good. He looks like an elite 3-point shooter.
Yeah. You can
At 7 foot, at 7'5". Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
At 7'5".
No, yeah. I get what you're saying. So, I think the Spurs. I mean, you got Chris Paul. I mean, it's also the Chris Paul effect. Chris Paul makes every team good for some reason. I mean, with that 1 year in OKC, he took it to the playoffs. So, But I think
and
honestly,
look what happened to Shea. He spent 1 year. He spent 1 year with Chris Paul, and suddenly he is a top 5 player in the NBA, averaging 30 points for the past 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine what he's teaching Stephon Castle.
That's what I was about to say. I think whatever Stephon Castle learns from Chris Paul, if he's able to translate it into his own game, like, and you pair that with Wemby, because you've already seen how Chris Paul and Wemby look. I mean, it's a great, duo. So Castle can translate whatever he learns into his own game. You pretty much have, I don't want to say like a dynasty, but like you'll have a nice little 1-2 punch for the future,
Whether Castle plays the 1 or the 2, because there's a lot of people debating on whether or not he should be the point guard of the future, I want to keep him around. I think he could be a great off-ball guy. I mean, we're seeing it now. When he plays with Chris Paul, he could play off the ball and play that 2 guard. If the Spurs want to go out there and try and grab a guy like Trey or grab a guy like De'Aaron Fox or Cade or whatever, whatever disgruntled point guard decides that they want to leave and play with Victor Wembanyama. I think this team is going to be amazing. We are on the verge of seeing a second Spurs dynasty, and this time it is without the big 3, which is something I never thought that we'd honestly really see.
Well, like I said, I think it really depends on what the team is taught. Chris Paul, the vets like Harrison Barnes is there, Chris Paul is there. Whatever these young guys are learning, whatever they're picking up, whatever they're putting into their own game, is what's really gonna into the future.
Also,
if they can take what they're learning and put it into their own game, they'll be good.
Whether or not we extend, I'm like forgetting his name because that's how much I dislike him. Whether or not we extend Zach Collins, yeah, dude.
Oh man,
if we extend Zach Collins.
Get you a Zach Collins jersey for your birthday.
I hate watching him play. So I'm so serious. I mean, look at these stats. This is a 7-footer we're talking about, going 2 for 5 from the field, 2 for 5 from the field, 0 of 1, which was a 3, whatever. His minutes, I love seeing his minutes go down, and then 17 minutes is hell. Zach Collins should not be playing 17 minutes on any NBA team.
Bro's career highlight is when he stood up to Klay Thompson when he was playing in Portland. That's Bro's career highlight.
Look at how beautiful this team is, though. Look at this, dude.
Charles Bassey.
Look at that. Julian Champagny, 3-point sniper. Every time he shoots it, you are surprised when he misses. Mamu feels like he comes in for 5 minutes every game and hits a 3 and goes back to the bench. Love to see it. Trey Jones, the worst of the 2 brothers, still a very good point guard. I like him as a backup point guard a lot. Harrison Barnes is on the team.
He's just here.
Keldon Johnson's actually been really good off the bench for us recently. He struggled last season having an inconsistent role. This year, he's pretty consistently like the 6th or 7th man off the bench, and he does really well. I'm very happy to see it.
It's gonna be random, but Jeremy Sohan, however you say it, this has nothing to do with basketball. But he got his hair cut, and then his barber picked up his hair, put it in a bag, and put it on eBay.
Hey man, that's Sohan. I would have bought it if I knew about it.
Chasing the bag.
I would have bought it if I knew about it.
I think because Sohan posted about it. I think on Instagram stories. He said something, and it was on there. It was the whole listing. It was the green hair inside of a little Ziploc bag with pictures of him cutting his hair and everything.
That green was for Spurs fans. That green was iconic. And then we say all this, but of course, 7'5", dreamy eyes, handsome.
Oh. That's not Braun, bro. Come on now.
Not yet. Victor Wembanyama's first team All-NBA. There's no more positions. I don't have to worry about like.
We only glaze LeBron around here.
Mm-hmm. LeBron's almost out.
Yeah, no. All right.
Victor Wembanyama, first team All-NBA. Throw in your votes.
That was pretty much our little league overview. We got a little bit of news. We kind of hit on a couple subjects in there when talking about certain teams, but we'll just start off with what I got up top. Kawhi could make his season debut Saturday versus the Atlanta Hawks. Did I say Kai or Kawhi?
You bounce between.
I might be watching too much Kai. Kawhi is set to could make his season debut Saturday versus the Atlanta Hawks. Kawhi was upgraded to questionable Friday night and he has not played a game since April 26, 2024, which was Game 3 of the Western Conference first round playoff series versus the Mavericks.
Damn.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute since Kawhi's played. Like I said, it's could. He's could. He's not questionable. He's not doubtful anymore. Do I think he does make his debut Saturday? Is today Saturday? Today is Saturday. Hold on.
Today's Saturday.
Let me see if they put out anything yet. Clippers. They do play the Hawks today. Let's see.
Still says he's just upgraded to questionable.
Is it still say questionable?
15 hours ago.
I guess we'll find out closer to game time. I don't think tip-off's probably till 9:30, so we'll be done. This will be ready to upload by the time the game starts, so we won't know this podcast. But closer to tip-off, we'll find out if he's going to play or not. But he could make his debut tonight. Stat line prediction if he does?
Like 16, 5 boards, and 2 assists.
Respectable. Do you think he'd be on a minutes restriction?
Yeah, for sure. I think I think that's why I'm only saying like 16 points. And 16 is being generous. If he's on a minutes restriction, that implies that he's hitting his shots. Yeah. That's like he went, in 25 minutes, he goes like 5 for 7 or something, Gets a couple free throws. It's
all right. So that's Kawhi. I guess we'll find out, closer tonight towards tip-off if he makes his season debut. But next thing we got is something that happened last week, which we didn't post last week. A lot of things happened last week. The Kings fired head coach Mike Brown. Less than halfway through his third season, Mike Brown was the 22-23 Coach of the Year, and he led Sacramento to their first playoffs in 16 seasons. Do we think it was the right move?
Absolutely not. I'm not saying Mike Brown is some crazy coach. Like, I don't think he's the best coach in the league by any means.
Yeah.
But he is probably the best coach on the open market right now if a team is looking to hire a coach. And the issue for the Kings was not coaching. It was the fact that they have 3 stars who cannot shoot. And yeah, you were hoping De'Aaron Fox comes in this season and continues that 40% three-point percentage he carried last season. But he hasn't. He's come back down to earth. He's come back down to earth. He is not. He's not a shooter. Really, never has been in his career. He is a great slasher. He is a pretty good mid-range scorer, but he can't hit a three ball. And then you threw Domantas Sabonis in that mix, which, sure, Sabonis and De'Aaron can work if you have spacing around them. If you have a 2, a 3, and a 4 who can all shoot the ball. They didn't do that. They decided they were going to go and get DeMar DeRozan.
Which that doesn't look like a good signing.
Not at all. Not at all.
And you don't want to disrespect somebody like DeRozan and say that, but
no,
it just doesn't look good.
I don't think DeMar is a bad player at all.
Yeah, no, he's not a bad player. He just doesn't fit.
I don't think there's a lot.
It's also taking shots away from some of their youth, like which Murray brothers on that team? Is it Keegan?
Yeah, they have Keegan Murray.
Keegan, I mean, it's taking touches and shots away from Keegan Murray, who you could be developing right now, but instead you're playing DeMar.
He hasn't been a great shooter either. You were hoping that he would be.
Yeah, but
this season he struggled all year. Their issues really do just come down to they can't hit threes and they can't defend. That is not on Mike Brown. Mike Brown was not given the personnel to do either of those things efficiently at all.
Well, how I see it, and I don't know if other people see it like that, but it's the coach's job to coach. It's the player's job to play. If the player goes out there and doesn't play, it's not on the coach. The coach can only tell him what to do. The player has to go out there and do it. So if the players aren't doing it, it's not Mike Brown's fault. He's just telling them, hey, run this play. Hey, do this.
I think it's on the GM for putting this team together of players who do not fit. I think if you have Sabonis, I don't think Sabonis works as a 5. I think Sabonis works best as a playmaking hub, playing your 4, and then you have a big body 5 who can stretch the floor. I mean, look at when he was in Indiana and he was playing next to Miles Turner. That was a perfect fit. Stretch 5 who could block shots, and Domantas Sabonis who could score really well. He grabs boards really good. He grabs a lot of boards, and he can. He's a great playmaker.
Well, Mike Brown's gone. I'm sure he'll get picked up by a team, or he's just going to sit on his couch and enjoy that free money, not having to do nothing. So, I know that's what I would do.
He's going to get paid for the next 3 years.
I think Monty Williams is still getting paid. He's a head coach of a high school basketball team in San Antonio now.
He's getting paid. He's getting paid by Detroit and by Phoenix right now. He's the highest paid coach ever, and he got fired after a year. He is fine, dude.
I mean, when you're out there putting Killian Hayes and Cade Cunningham on the court at the same time, you're talking about Jaden Ivey and
he sabotaged that season, bro. He sabotaged that season.
He really did. But I'll always love Monty. I don't care. Even if he if he never comes to coach again and it ended on him being a stinker for the Pistons, I'll always love Monty.
He took the Phoenix Suns to the finals. That is a hard thing to do.
He came in during the bubble, or not during the bubble, that season, the bubble, or I guess it was bubble towards the end of the season, right? They paused it and finished it in the bubble. And that's what it was. So he came in that season, and then we went to the bubble. We went 8-0 with them. Came out of the bubble. We got Chris Paul, I think, the following season. Went on that finals run, I think, the next season. Or was it that? It might have been the first season. I don't remember.
It was the first year with Chris Paul. Because there was the first year with Chris Paul, and the second year Chris Paul and Booker didn't look the same. And then the third year, they picked up KD.
Yeah, second year Chris Paul hits 3 to cut the lead to 40. The dagger. But, I always love Coach Monty. But what else? I think I got it's time to glaze. Oh, wait, no, we got one more story before Braun. The Heat have suspended Jimmy Butler for conduct detrimental to the team. He's been suspended 7 games, and then they have now come out and said that they will listen to trade offers.
I think they were going to
fiasco.
I think they were going to trade him either way. I know what he came out and said, like, I do not want to trade Jimmy. If that guy doesn't want to be there, he's not going to stay there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you don't keep somebody like that on your team. He's just going to take your team. You're going to give him minutes, and he's going to go out there and do nothing.
Exactly.
So, do I think the suspension is warranted? No. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell.
I don't think it makes
Kinda hard
much
to
of a
me.
difference.
It
It
really
doesn't make
doesn't.
much
I
of a
mean, you
difference on the
suspend him
season.
and he doesn't do anything, or you play him and he does a little. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I read something that the Players Association was going to fight the suspension or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out more about it in the coming days. But
Let's go, CJ. Shout out CJ McCollum.
CJ and Grant Williams.
Yeah.
What do you if Jimmy gets traded? Unbiased. If I'm being biased, he's coming to the Suns. But unbiased, if Jimmy gets traded, where do you think he goes?
I think because Miami want to stay competitive.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to sound really dumb for Miami, but I think they are kind of desperate enough to make a move like this. Julius Randle could be a Miami Heat.
Jimmy Butler back to the Timberwolves?
Different teammates, different coach now. I don't see why not.
I don't think I wouldn't hate it. I mean, it'd be
And
not weird.
You're gonna tell me Jimmy and Ant wouldn't really just feed off each other? You know,
They would.
They have very, very similar approaches to how they approach the game. You know,
I mean, they're both.
I think play style wise, they don't get in each other's way.
Yeah.
Both hardworking and both very vocal to the media. It feels like every time the Wolves lose, Ant is with the media like, we suck.
Yeah.
Julius Randle's taking threes. I have no idea why. Like
that was the biggest problem when Jimmy was there before was the lack of accountability. The what's the word here? I guess I don't know if it's the right word. Childness. I don't know if that's even a word, but the childness that the players, how they would act and things like that. And
he went to a pretty young team and he didn't like it.
Yeah,
he didn't like being around these guys who didn't really care about winning at that point because they had never done it.
They were just there for the money, probably. But no, I think if he does go back, pairing him with somebody like Ant, who's put your head down, get to work, play hard, do what you got to do, try to win. Somebody like that, I think Jimmy would be happy. But it's also Jimmy Butler. He's been bounced around the league now. He's stayed on the Heat 3 seasons. I think if he went the Bulls, then got traded to the Timberwolves, then got traded to the Sixers, then didn't re-sign with the Sixers and signed with the Heat. So he went on 4 teams with 4 seasons at one point.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's Jimmy's fault, but at some point, if he does continue to bounce, if he gets traded and then something happens there, and he gets traded again, it's, at some point when does it become Jimmy's problem? Jimmy's the problem, If
I'm the Timberwolves, I'm doing it to get off that Julius contract. Mm-hmm. I do not want to be on that anymore. And if Jimmy walks for nothing, Jimmy walks for nothing. Oh well, at least you have the cap space. But if I'm the Timberwolves, I'm looking at that. And I'm immediately trying to get Jimmy in the gym with Jaden Daniels and trying to get him to develop an all-around game similar to Jimmy's. Because Jaden has kind of stunted offensively. He can't do much with the ball in his hands. And that's not what they expected. They gave him a big contract extension thinking like, okay, we could develop this guy into being more of an on-ball co-star. He hasn't been that. I think with a guy like Jimmy, he could do that. They are similar builds, being lengthy wings who can play defense very well. Jimmy came into the league and really didn't have much of an offensive game at all until like his 3rd year. Mm-hmm. I think he could really, help coach Jaden Daniels into being a more well-rounded player. And it helps him with the playoff push. I think Ant and Jimmy make a lot more sense than Ant and Randle do. I do not like that fit at all.
They only did it to move off the money to get under the second apron, which is understandable. A lot of teams are trying to make moves to get under that second apron.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard when you get above it. You can't do nothing. So, all right. LeBron James breaks MJ's record for the most 30-point games in a victory over the Atlanta Hawks Friday night. So I think it's 536 30-point games for the glorious king, the sunshine, the GOAT.
Greatest scorer of all time.
Yeah.
No, the scorer is insane. But, I mean, he's just going to stack up, these achievements like this. Oh, my God, a fly. He's just going to stack up achievements like this to he's in his 22nd season. Everything he does at this point is probably going to break another record. Which is insane to say. I mean,
it really is. I mean,
how can you say that and not think he's the greatest player of all time?
You're not wrong. I think it depends on who you're talking to, honestly. Because if you're talking to somebody like you or me or somebody else around our age group,
somebody with ball knowledge,
if you're talking to some old head, they're gonna say Michael Jordan. I think it really just depends on the demographic of the person.
They haven't watched basketball since the 80s.
So like,
they hear
really
basketball.
Think it's who you're talking to.
They hear basketball and they're like, they take too many threes. They're soft.
Dude, I don't know. But I think that really depends on who you ask on who. It depends on who you ask on who they're going to say the greatest player is. That's pretty much how it is with me. It just depends on who you ask because
I have a friend who thinks it's Larry Bird. That fully believes that Larry Bird is better than Michael Jordan and LeBron James.
Not like no sarcasm, just 100%.
No sarcasm. I think he might be racist. I think he just might be racist. But he fully is committed to this idea that Larry Bird is better than both of them because he has 3 rings and 3-peated the MVP trophy.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, he could shoot better than anybody. He's the second greatest shooter of all time.
If I could gaslight myself into believing something like that, I'd tell everybody Devin Booker's greatest player of all time.
You already
but I
do
know
that.
If I said it, I know I'm lying over here.
You're
lying.
I know. Hey man, Devin Booker. We want to talk about GOAT debates. No, how many people have missed the playoffs one year and made the finals the next? I don't know. I'm just saying.
How many players won the NBA 3-point contest? Named Devin Booker. Only one. It was Devin Booker.
Whose name starts with a D, Damian Lillard, and last name starts with a B.
Yeah.
You got to hit those criteria.
You got to hit the criteria. All right. What are we at? About an hour in? You ready to play some games?
Yeah, I got them pulled up if you are.
Let's play some games.
Do you want to do connections, Poeltl, or I called game first?
Which one are you feeling first?
We can do I called game.
All right, let's do I called game.
We'll start there. Okay. Here we go.
Right.
Do you see it?
Yeah.
All right. So far,
Boston.
Yep. Home team, Boston. Away team, Chicago.
Boston.
Pretty easy. And it tells us NBA tip-off 2010. So
probably first game of the season.
Yeah. Are we stupid? What? Did I not press Chicago? Did I press Miami?
I don't know.
Did I hit Miami?
You might have. Bang!
I think I hit Miami on accident. Oh, so
hey, we need to get a little soundboard. So every time we do it, hit the bang.
My brain. Bang!
Right,
bang!
2010.
Yeah, this is easy so far. I think I messed up our score because I put Miami on accident.
We know we were right. Regular season.
This
might when we get to the players is where we're gonna get cooked.
Oh yeah.
Or the coaches. We might get cooked by the coaches.
No, because this was Doc Rivers.
Doc Rivers, yeah, Doc Rivers, if he was still there.
And who was the coach? Was it Tibbs still?
I think Tibbs. It should have been Tibbs. Yeah, it should have been Tibbs.
Tom Thibodeau. Yep. There we go. Rose, Luol Deng. I hate how blurry the pictures get sometimes, man.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So Boston, let's think. This is 2010, so this is championship run. So Big Perk.
Yep.
He wasn't on the team in 2010.
Well, we know we got Rondo.
Yeah, we got Rondo.
And
all right, maybe
Perk
just didn't play the game this year, like the first game.
Yeah, it should be Paul Pierce.
There it is. Then we got KG.
Yeah, KG should be here.
Who else was on the roster in 2010? Ray?
We got the big names. But
easy
yeah, he
ones.
might have been there. 2010,
Yeah.
he might have been there.
2010 was their, or was 2011? No, it was 08. I'm stupid. 08 was their championship year.
Mm-hmm.
2010 was, I believe, the last year of this team being together. Or
Now we're going down a rabbit hole here.
All right. Who else? Oh, what's his name? There was the meme about him being the GOAT. Yes.
The White Mamba?
Didn't play. Okay, great.
Oh man, that was a long time ago. 25 years ago. Wait, no, it's not.
25.
15 years ago. Math isn't a strong suit for me, all right?
25 years ago.
I was so confident, too. Who
else was on the 2010? Did they have Joe Johnson?
He might have been there.
No. Was this Shaq? Was this the Shaq year?
I don't think so.
We can move on to the Bulls if you want. I feel like that one might be a little easier.
Joakim Noah. I don't even know if he was there.
Yeah, because this is a year before MVP Rose. So
okay, so Derrick Rose was there.
Yeah. Luol Deng. We saw a picture of him.
Yeah, Luol Deng.
How do you spell his name? There it is. Kyle Korver, maybe? Yep.
Oh, look at that. 49%.
Boozer. Can't forget Carlos Boozer. Was not either did not play or wasn't there till the next year. Okay.
Boozer got the tattooed hair.
Dude, that's the greatest photo. He had Flex Seal on his head, bro.
Shiny. Yeah.
He had fucking Flex Seal sitting on his head.
Oh man.
These pictures do not help at all.
Just kidding. I don't know.
No. Kukoc was out of the league. He was way past retired.
Oh, the only Bulls I can think of is like the old school Bulls. Oh man. These pictures are so blurry, it's hard to tell.
I know. You can't see shit. Oops.
Nate Robinson. I don't know.
I don't know.
I remember him playing for the Bulls, but I don't know when.
Yeah. 2005 to 2015? No. Who was on the Celtics at this point?
I think it's crazy how we got all the big time players.
Yeah, we have a All-Star, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, All-Star, MVP, All-Star.
I'm brainstorming right now. I'm trying to. Oh man.
We may have to give this one up. I cannot think of anybody.
Watch it. It's gonna pop up, but it's gonna be so many names, that we know. See all
players. Glenn Davis. Glenn
Davis is improved. Nate Robinson's on the Celtics.
We put him on the wrong team, bro.
Hey, Glenn Davis
and Brian Scalabrine was on the wrong team.
Oh my. Taj Gibson. Dude, I just listened to a podcast the other day. I should have got Taj Gibson.
Oh, I'm stupid.
They were talking about it. They're talking about Taj Gibson was going to be at the Derrick Rose celebration thing.
Mm-hmm. James Johnson.
I ain't gonna lie. A lot of those names we probably wouldn't have got. Amir Osix. I know the player, but I would never thought the name.
Look, we should have got Glenn Davis, Jermaine O'Neal, Nate Robinson at the very least, and Taj Gibson and Brian Scalabrine.
All right, who took the last shot? I think it's the next one.
Final shot. Should we try and go obvious and say either Rose or one of the Celtics big guys?
Let's go Rose.
Nope.
Paul Pierce. I don't know.
No. Glenn Davis.
Glenn
Of course
Davis,
it
Big
was.
Baby.
Of course it was.
Oh, it was Big Baby Glenn Davis.
And we just did bad. We just did really
Hey,
bad.
we got 551. That's over half. We got over half, everybody.
I guess.
All right, let's jump over to
Connections or Poeltl?
Let's jump over to
Poeltl.
Poeltl.
All right. So
No silhouette.
Give me a player. No silhouette yet?
Silhouette after five if we need it.
We'll do that.
Let's go like a middle range player.
2 weeks ago, I called it in 3. So
why am I slouching over here? Slouching in my chair. Let's call it in 4.
4.
Give us 4. Is my chair gonna rise? There it goes. Let's call it in 4. Let's just start. Right. Devin Booker.
Okay.
My chair just made a weird noise.
He is in the West, and he is at least 6'3" and no taller than 6'5". And
okay, so he plays in the West.
He doesn't play for the young guy.
Warriors, Lakers, Kings.
Oh, Warriors. Brandon Podziemski?
No. He doesn't play for them. He's not in the division.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, West, 6'6".
No, he's not a guard. Not a guard, and he's shorter than 6'6". Lou Dort? How tall is Lou Dort? Because he's like guard forward kind of. They might
Put him in and see what happens.
How do I spell Lou Dort? Oh, I forget. That's not his whole name. Okay, so the guy's 6'4".
So 6'4".
He's a 6'4" forward who is very young. He's under 25 significantly.
Dude, this is going to be somebody who rides the bench of a team.
Oh, for sure.
So he's not in the Pacific. He's not in the Northwest. 6'4". 6'4" forward is crazy. Like, I just can't think of nothing.
Yeah. Like, that is a small forward. We're saying forward. He could be a center. I don't know.
It's fucking. Oh, we're demonetized again, even though we don't get paid. I don't know. What's the Williams brother that plays in Utah? The OKC dude's brother. What's his first name? I think he's a forward, but I don't know if he's 6'4".
There's Jington. Is that it?
Oh, no. I think I'll know the name if I see it. It's Jalen Williams' brother. Cody.
Yeah.
Cody Williams.
Cody Williams?
I think it's Cody.
Okay. So we almost got the age. He's too tall.
What's the yellow mean for the age? I forget what the yellow means for the age.
In like 3. So like he is anywhere from 21 to 23.
Okay.
In the height, he's exactly 6'4".
Okay, so we're not getting into 4. Oh, wait, it was the same division. I don't know why I guessed same division. Oh,
damn it.
We wasted a guess. I wasted a guess.
Should I show silhouette?
I don't know. We said we weren't going to do it until after 5.
Let's try it after 5.
Okay.
You can look up the divisions if you want, because neither one of us are very good with those. They just
Let me see.
Western Conference divisions. I thought I had an ad for lube down here. I got scared.
We got okay. So we know it's not Northwest, and we know it's not Pacific. Okay. Spurs, Mavericks, Rockets, Grizzlies, Pelicans.
Spurs. I'll try Devin Vassell. I think he's 6'4". Ooh, 6'5". I just got. Oh,
okay. Well, this is all you.
Oh, he's 24. He's on San Antonio. He's listed as a guard still. Who is 6'4" on San Antonio? 6'4".
Malachi Branham.
Oh my god. Well, he's a guard, I think. They have him in there.
Oh.
He's a forward.
about-
See that's why I didn't. He is not a forward. They have him out there running the 2 guard sometimes. Most
I
of the
don't
time.
know. That was a shot in the dark for me. If we get it at 5, we got it at 5. I said 4, but we got it at 5.
Hey man, we got it before the silhouette.
Yeah. All right. What's our last one we got?
We have NBA connections, which we'll probably do bad on because it's more than likely guys from the 60s, and they're like, "What do these guys have in
Which one
common?"
of these guys ate a cookie on this day?
Yeah, exactly.
I can't stand connections sometimes.
So immediately, I'm seeing multiple Rockets players: Jeff Green, Yao Ming, Clyde Drexler, Dikembe Mutombo, Charles Barkley. I'm seeing multiple Suns with Barkley, KD.
Langston Galloway played for the Suns.
Galloway played for the Suns. Okay, so let's see. What does Nick Collison have in common with any of these guys? Oh, hold on. OKC. Was Wally Zerbiak in OKC for a little bit?
I don't think they were around when he was playing. He was early 90s, right? They didn't go to Oklahoma till.
I thought he was late 90s.
He might have been late 90s. I don't know.
Was Jeff Green? Jeff Green's been everywhere. So
Supersonics. Jeff Green was Supersonics. Nick Collison was Supersonics.
Supersonic. I'm telling
I'm
you.
over here pointing like you can see what I'm pointing.
I think Wally Zerbiak was a Sonic for a little bit.
He might have been.
Is that right?
Sure.
Got it.
Oh, okay. We cooked. Oh, whoa.
Knew it.
We cooked a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be good.
Jameer Nelson, Langston Galloway, Dikembe Mutombo. I'm still seeing Rocket here.
Mm-hmm.
These guys didn't play at the same because Clyde did not play on the Rockets at the same time. Oh, I think Clyde was there when Charles was there, but he wasn't there when Yao or Dikembe were.
Yeah, dude, I got
to. Charles got there late in his career. Clyde. It may not be. It may not even be play together. It could be something else.
Something about Bembry, Taco Fall, Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown, what a name.
Charlie Brown.
And Langston Galloway, for some reason, they're calling my name as bench
Could have been
player.
the same. Could have been the same draft or something. You ready? Try it.
Sure. I know they're not in the same draft.
So close. Oh, one away.
Oh.
One away. Wait. Manute Bol, Taco Fall. Okay, so I'm thinking Taco Fall is the one out here because Manute Bol, Dikembe, Taco, and Yao are all over. Well, hold on. I'm going to try this real quick.
Manute,
I promise you, this is going to be oh, what?
Merson. George Merson. He was big. He was huge. That's not
over who? Dikembe?
Yeah. Put him over Dikembe.
7'6" and above. Okay, yeah, I knew there was something there. Okay. Now you were saying DeAndre, Langston, Charlie, and
Jameer. Maybe.
Oh, St. Joe's Hawks. And then
is all Rockets or something?
Were these guys all on the Rockets at the same time? There's no way. Ended their career in Houston. Okay.
Oh my God. Yo, we didn't think we would do good on this one.
We cooked. Hey, shout out to you for this one.
No, I was just thinking. I was brainstorming.
Yeah, for the Sonics pool.
I didn't know Wally Zerbiak played in Seattle. Every time I think of Zerbiak, I just think about him on the Timberwolves.
I knew he played in Seattle because he was late 90s.
And I very rarely think of Wally Zerbiak. So
yeah, Wally's not a name.
Playing 2K, he'll pop up on my team or something as a card.
Yeah.
But all right. What a fun one. How long we go this time? We went about an
hour 20.
Anything else we need to speak on before we salute and ham sandwich our way out of here? I think it's funny how we completely robbed Darvin Ham of his little things.
Hey, man,
Straight robbed him. We stole his salute.
he'll be all right. I promise.
Yeah, he'll be all right. He's making millions of dollars. He'll be okay.
Yeah, he's good.
He could salute on his way to the bank.
Mm-hmm. As long as those
All right, well,
those Bucks checks come through, he'll be all right.
yeah. All right, well, I think that's all we got for this week. Episode 5 in the books. See you next Sunday. Sounds good. Anything you need to address? Anything you need to say?
Victor Wembanyama, top 5, should be in the MVP conversation.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna edit that part out, guys. Nah, dude. All right. Double salute. Ham sandwich.
Ham sandwich. Salute.
All right.